got ourselves Cavaliers over on the team 2 as Unholy Death Knight. We got ourselves Hardy as a Fury Warrior with Shiv as a Rogue. We got ourselves Sozan as a Shadow Priest and Oxygen. Oxygen? How do you even say the A and E like that? What is that? I guess Oxygen. As a Fire Mage, the Cavalier is going to be first up versus Medby. Medby only hit him with a stun and with a root, but it's actually going to be a stun by the pet around the corner. The Skulker reaches out around the corner just to get some shots over at Medby. It's going to be the Ursos. That's not an AMS, but that was a Death's Advance. Medby actually getting hit with quite a bit of damage out of Cavaliers. Getting interrupted on the Cyclone as Cavaliers just cavalierly walking at Medby. Got himself the grippy hand to be able to grip him back and forth. Maybe has a normal grip available soon. Just used to get in line the side of Medby to get yoinked back in on the bear. Still unable to. Finally, Medby with the Thorns finds a breakaway from Cavaliers for a second as the Fleshcraft take a little bit of damage from the punctures of the Thorns. And looks like Cavaliers is going to kind of... Is he trying to pull the pet back? Looks like the pet is trying to figure out how to get to Medby. Walking up and just punching him and kicking him. He's just kicking him. Maim onto Cavaliers. The pet does absorb some of that damage, I believe, whenever you have a pet class with a big old convoke like that. Sometimes the pets can need those bites and need those bleeds, and looks like Medby is actually building some damage onto this pet stun as Cavaliers trying to go for maybe full Army of the Dead, trying to build up for resources. That is going to be the Mages, but instead of Army of the Dead, instead he's playing a playstyle where I guess he does damage to Medby with a dot, and as long as Medby has a heal on him, which is healing over time, that dot is going to continue to stay on him, right? Is that what he's going for? It's like an Apocalypse transforming talent that puts a debuff on the enemy. But maybe Medby, this is where he maybe decided to remove and he kind of rejuves, just let the dot fall off. Because somebody was doing damage to him and a lot of damage on top of it. And with an AMS on top of it for Cavaliers, just trying to keep the pressure on Medby while staying away from him. Just gonna hit him with a Chain of Ice and walk away as best as they can. Well, Druid continued to get shreds, continuing to get bites. 6 minutes in the duels, 8% dampener. And the healing for the both of them is going to start getting diminished little by little. Going to be a quick pet sacrifice for Cavaliers. Is going to resummon a new one. What's the cooldown on resummon a pet? It's like a minute. So you can basically resummon a pet every single minute. Cavaliers does follow up with a Lichborn to try to keep himself afloat as best as he can through the duel. Trying to keep himself as healthy as possible. Medby walking away from Cavaliers does have a grip for it. I think there was a leap on top of it as well, though. Stun to Medby, trick inside of him immediately. And Cavaliers with the IBF is going to go for Fleshcraft since the Druid is nowhere nearby. Might as well get a full one. Skull badged by Medby. And it's surrounded by the pets. APOC, I think, doing some sort of damn. Wish I remembered what it does. Thorns are up. Medby is going to see Cavaliers with the AMS. Grippy hand not going anywhere at all. That grippy hand is doing a bit of damn. Medby going for a cycle or convoke, but that's going to be pet stun. Medby finds himself kind of low. Wait, could be really bad. Cavaliers gripping him back in. War stun, but Medby for a second with a wall. Cavaliers is going to get another yoink in there. Medby is under a lot of pressure right now. Doesn't Feral go down? Quick moment to Cavaliers. Doesn't sit that long at all, though. That's going to be Medby catching up a little bit of healing with Swiftmans around the corner. The Ghoul does get to transform, charging at the Feral Druid, rooting him in place. That's going to be more regrowths. The Ghoul needs to get an interrupt on the Medby when possible. If he ever goes for regrowth in front of the Ghoul. As the Feral trying to build calm points, trying to get some finishers onto the pets, get himself regrowth. Swiftmans are put on cooldown as he's just trying to recover. Man, this arena is so good for the Feral. Just let him get complete full resets. And the Feral is definitely going to be able to go for a full redo. Cavaliers need to find a way to draw the Feral out while he's low and then lock him down full burst and just keep him out in the open. So you might just have to use the A-bomb limb just to put the Feral out away from an arena, away from any pillars. And maybe look at it, as soon as he's seeing Cavaliers walking out the open, he goes behind the pillar, he goes behind the cat scratch post, trying to go for a convoke quick control by Cavaliers with the AMS rolling. He needs himself a little bit of healing, sacrificing the Ghoul to summon a new one right after just to give himself some longevity. Got Death Strikes back to back to keep himself afloat. Lichborn to follow, stun onto Medby. Does he have any bursts to follow? It's going to be a Ghoul, completed transform, dark transformation. Barak's going to Thorns are up, and Cavaliers could be in a bad spot right now as Medby got Thorns. Going to be back-to-back bites. Oh my goodness. With Hardy locking down Medby in that spear, not letting him go anywhere. Does he have the Executus? Does he have the Rampage's War Stun by Medby? And Hardy should be able to keep raging blows on him, is going to be able to take down the Feral. Dude, this Death that right now is looking at the Feral is like, yeah, Hardy, you didn't kill him. I'll loosen him up for you. It's like when you're trying to open a jar and you try your hardest and somebody else walks by and pops it open. It's like, I'll loosen up for you. There's no way. There's no way as Hardy does end up taking him out. Rogue Mage bad over on Team 1. It looks like we had a DC with Team 1. I think it might have been Wolfie. I think it might have been Wolfie with a DC. Disarm to Hardy as he got Enrage Regeneration. Fear onto the Rogue. And it looks like Hardy wants to go for a charge heal. Does not have the Enrage Regen to heal him anymore though. But Bloodthirst can maybe do something. We are 9 minutes into this duel though. 27% dampener. Hardy trying to get himself as much damage as possible to Rogue Mage. Maybe the evasion is going to be locked out for a second. Hardy better get the hell out of there. He can't even hit the Rogue. No overpower. Which is one ability Fear Warrior needs. Blind as the Warrior leaps away. And Rogue Mage, he decided to go for a blind as somebody saw a trinket out of the Warrior. Hardy better get himself some kind of healing in some way or another. Oh, what the? Your pet also mounts up when you mount up? That looks kind of cool. Rogue Mage chilling behind the pillar. Nowhere near Hardy. That's going to be a cheap shot. I think it might be the end to the Warrior though. Yeah. With the Carrion Burst, treating your calm points like a 2 calm point eviscerate, like a 7 calm point eviscerate. Yeah, it's pretty busted. Oxygen up next, sending out Phoenixes at Rogue Mage. And Rogue Mage bad. He's just gonna have to go for a bit of a reset. What are those? It looked like you had the hood from the Bloodfang set, but then you got the horns as well. But that's actually just your hair from the back. Gonna be a Shadow Step to ally. Oh, I don't like seeing that. Shadow Step to ally like that just to escape. I don't like that. I feel like that AoE from Oxygen would have found him then. Cheap shot by Rogue Mage. Oxygen most likely playing Shimmer. As a cheap shot rolls into a kidney shot. Oxygen is with a breath into a Ring of Frost. Rogue has a trinket if he needs to. What? The ring never even happened. Looks like he cancels his own ring. Instead goes for an over. Trying to send a meteor at Rogue Mage. Looks like he's going to be able to get out of there. Sending in Phoenix Flames. Trying to walk into the smoke bomb. Going to be Rogue Mage resetting. But Oxygen is going to be right there next to him. Hitting him with a fire blast. And maybe she'll be able to get a couple pyros. Cheap shot by Rogue Mage. Does he have the Kyrian Burst? Oxygen looking okay for now, but could be in trouble. He does still have Ice Block. He does still have Cauterize. He's got himself a triple shield at 39% dampening. Trying to go for Shackles and Malediction on the Rogue. No Cloak of Shadows. The Rogue might be in a really bad spot. Fire Blast hits him with a Fire Blast, and Oxygen does end up taking him out. Well done with Bellator trying to go for at least a bow with Oxygen. Is he going to give him that full honor duel, or is he going to be like just about, hey, just know that I'm a warrior and then charge? Is he actually doing the full thing? Oh, it's letting him get a full honor duel. You don't necessarily have to. You could just run out and slam him as soon as Rogue is dead. Like, you're allowed to. It's a 5v5 1v1. Bellator letting Oxygen get basically a full reset. It's actually even making sure, hey, I just want to make sure you got a full health. I want to walk up to you. Are you healing? Are you healthy? He's like, Fire Blast. I'm good. All right, let's go. Immediate reflect onto Oxygen with the blade start to follow Oxygen under a ton of pressure. Immediately knocked down and maybe an execute. Oh, definitely going to be another poly. Bellator trinkets out of it into a leap. And Oxygen does. He managed to go for a. Oh, he used Ultra Time. Maybe the worst time. Actually, no, he didn't. Maybe it might be okay. Oxygen does have himself full shields. Ultra Time. Put himself back to full health. The Warrior just hung out next to that image into a full poly. And Oxygen is going to go for an invis. He's going to go for a full reset. Bellator, soul shape it over to the eye. Should be able to pick it up. Does pick it up. Oxygen is going to be able to hit him with a fireball. The Warrior at 48% dampen and needs to really mitigate as much damage as he can from this mage. That is full combustion out of Oxygen though. Checked out one pyro at Bellator. But if the base course for Bellator is he ends up just waiting out the combustion, it's probably the best situation he could be in. Gonna be a Nova by Oxygen. Reflect onto the Mage. But Bellator walks over. Try to break Polymorph as soon as possible. Just so Oxygen doesn't get too much healing out of it. That's gonna be a full repoly. Oxygen try to go for a bit of food. It's gonna have to re-poly Bellator. I don't even know if he'll get a tick of feed. I think at most he's gotten 1 tick of food every poly. Which I guess is like 3 ticks of food. Isn't the worst. Meteor slamming down. Bellator has to reflect for it to dampen some of the magic damage that it's going to do. Oxygen's got himself all the time, so he's got himself in a good spot. And hopefully he did all the time while he's at high health. So he should be able to get himself a reset. Exactly what happened. Gonna be the intro by Bellator, trying to make sure that the shifting power doesn't get any value into a freeze by Oxygen. You have a G-Pie? I don't think this man's running G-Pie. He's just running fast fireballs into a Pyro. Bellator is looking kind of rough right now. Has regeneration, but nothing to hit Bloodthirst off of. Doesn't even have a charge right now. If only there were images for Oxygen that could just kind of walk around the corner, you could just heal off of those. But Oxygen, I think, turned it around onto the Warrior. So maybe not. Bellator's like, you know what? I probably shouldn't have given that on a duel. Maybe that was a mistake. But Bellator has himself trinket very, very soon. Oxygen sending Meteor on one side, Blanket on the other. Breath into Bellator, just a couple pyros. Just hit him just with confusion out of nowhere. Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackulate. Hugh is gonna be up next. Huge accolade. I can't spin it. I can't spin it. I can't spin it to make it any more family friendly. I like this name though. I like this man's though. Hugh's gonna be up next to the BM. It's gonna be freezing trap. As it looks like Oxygen almost looks like Oxygen is the one that's frozen in the ring of frost. Gonna be big combustion. Hugh not doing super good. Oh my goodness, back to back pyros. Not even given an opportunity, and Oxygen just burns him down to the ground. And Oxygen getting 3 kills, not bad at all. Besides the first duel that lasted what felt like a while between the Feral Druid and the Unholy Death Knight, which I feel like Unholy got completely screwed on that one, man.